Hi, I'm Amber from Influencer Updates on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and YouTube. If you're listening on any of those platforms, please subscribe. And tonight I'm going to be answering your anonymously submitted questions as per always. So I put a question box on my stories and people can submit them through a link, and I do not know who has sent them in. So let's get started on the questions. Sorry, I'm also going to answer the questions that people put on the screen. So if you comment at the bottom of the screen during the live, I will get to those questions as well. First story here is, what was the private story that Ruby Tuesday Matthews posted on her story and then deleted it and publicly addressed it? This isn't really tea. So I think basically what she did was she put a large discount code on her story and then she deleted it and then put up another public story saying, oops, that was meant to be for close friends only. So maybe say it was like 50% off or something. It was only meant to be used by her close friends, and then a few people from the public, they used it as well. And she said she would be honouring the discount code, but she obviously took it down. Next question is that James Charles is back in Australia. This person is asking, is he still relevant and popular as an influencer? I think he is definitely still relevant and popular, but certainly not as much as he used to be back in his heyday. So James Charles has had a string of controversies, including proof that he was grooming, I suppose. Hang on, I better say allegedly grooming underage boys. I think it was like online relationships. I don't know if he actually met them in person, but yeah, that was a whole controversy. I don't even know if that's the right word, but yeah, that was something that happened quite a few years ago. And I think that when that all happened, his popularity died down a lot, but he, is definitely still popular. He has a makeup brand called Painted and he is promoting that a lot. I think that's probably why he's over in Australia. I did see on his TikTok that he's hosting some Australian luncheon or something, which will no doubt be all the influencers going to that. You could win tickets to it. I think that's what I was reading. And yeah, he did a video at Bunnings. So he had been to Bunnings for the first time and he was told that he needs to try a sausage. And it was very funny, the video. I find James Charles, the way he speaks and acts, is very humorous. And yeah, he was trying the sausage and he put, ketchup and mustard on it. And then he tasted it and he's like, it just tastes like a hot dog. But then he was confused because the bread's so thin, whereas a hot dog has thick bread. But he also bought a Bunnings hat, one of those big straw hats. Apparently that is a rite of passage for visitors to Australia. The next question is that Jazz Handmade and Remy girls didn't go to Katie G's beginning boutique launch. Now, I'm not overly familiar with the employees of Jazz Handmade and Remy, but this has been asked a few times lately, and so I'm going to address it to the best of my knowledge. So I believe that Katie G is an ex-employee of Jazz Handmade or Remy, potentially. Or maybe she's like a friend of theirs and they didn't go to her beginning boutique launch. Maybe she's got a collab with the brand. So I'm going to say there's some sort of friendship breakdown there, because surely not everybody from the team would be too busy to go to that. Don't know. But yeah, that's what I do know. That's what I'm knowing from filling in the gaps. Also, update on Jazz. I don't know if I said this last week, but somebody sent to me a Facebook post by her partner, Peter, and he was selling a whole heap of private gym equipment. So I'm thinking that maybe his job is running a private gym on the Gold Coast. It was like in a warehouse, just a small warehouse. Well, I mean, decently sized warehouse, but not like a huge warehouse, if that makes sense. And I think that he must have been running that as a business, and maybe now he's selling all of the equipment, which that to me fuels breakup rumors, but there's still been no confirmation whether they are or aren't together still. The next question, this is a big thing that's been happening this week. I've been posting about it in subscribers. So this question says, everything you know about regarding Cindy. Never really heard of her, but apparently she was a sex worker. So these are two TikTokers. Regarding Cindy is a TikToker, and then Elle, Eastern Suburbs mum, is a TikToker. I have mentioned Elle quite a lot in my lives over the years. Also, I post about her quite a lot, but she still has a comparatively small following compared to most of the people I speak about. But I find Elle is very entertaining. So these two had a fallout about 2 years ago when they attended, or Elle attended, a restaurant or a bar, I think it is. What's it called? China Doll. It's in Sydney. And she alleges that one of the owners sexually assaulted her by grabbing her and then kissing her on the lips in front of her husband. And she said she went to the police and pressed charges, and that is still an ongoing court thing. And being that regarding Cindy was one of her best friends, she assumed and had spoken to Cindy that she would no longer attend that venue. But regarding Cindy, believes that he is only a co-owner of the venue and that shouldn't matter, and that she's still going to attend China Doll. And then she was saying something like, Elle posted a story of regarding Cindy actually saying that, she was sort of dismissing the sexual assault thing. She's like, oh, it wasn't even a big deal, I was there, or something, just dismissing it, which obviously is very unkind to a friend, and obviously they've fallen out about this. But recently they were at a influencer event together. It was for an alcohol brand called Sin, maybe CIN, I think it was. And Elle filmed herself approaching, yelling things out to Cindy, saying, you're a horrible friend and stuff. She didn't actually say that, but that was the sort of stuff she was saying. And then another TikToker, she has posted a video of herself getting photos at the event, and then in the background you can hear and see Elle yelling regarding Cindy. So that has been the big drama with them this fortnight. But yeah, there's always dramas with Elle, Eastern Suburbs mum. I think I spoke about it on a previous live that she recently had a fallout. I definitely posted about it in subscribers. She recently had a fallout with another friend who she was going to be a bridesmaid for. And the friend had come online saying the reason for their friendship fallout is because they have different values. And the friend had said that her own values are something like family, loyalty to your partner, and all these things that implied that Elle had been betraying her partner and betraying her family. So we don't know any more, we don't know the explicit truth about that situation yet. Maybe it will come out later, but yes, Elle is no longer a bridesmaid to her friend. So that is 2 public falling outs she's had. Right, I'm going to get to the questions on the screen now. People are saying here, and anonymously submitted, how amazing does the Jazz Handmade and Remy by Riley trip look? I haven't seen it. I'm going to have to go on TikTok and have a look after this, but apparently they've got a private jet and they've gone really all out for their... Is it an influencer trip? I imagine it would be. What's happening with Tammy? No updates on last week. I still believe she is over in the Bahamas. I accidentally said Barbados last week, but yeah, Bahamas to film Shark Celebrity Infested Waters. Which, yeah, to me is crazy that she's away for a month, because I imagine the relevance she's losing in a month. She is usually the most talked about person week after week after week, and there's sort of nothing to talk about this week. So, yeah, it's a very interesting business move, and also a lot of paid advertising jobs that she could be doing in that month. So they must be paying her a lot of money to be doing it. Oh, this person is saying that Katie G replied to a comment saying the Jazz Handmade girls were there at her beginning boutique launch. It's weird that there's no proof of that. I don't know, maybe she's just saying that to sort of diffuse any rumours. Oh, this person is saying that Peter's gym was underneath the Jazz Handmade warehouse space in the same warehouse. It was in her warehouse, it was in the lower level, and her offices were in the top level. Ah, okay, so did Peter run the gym? Or was the gym there for the Jazz Handmade people? This person is saying Brie Tiercy. I actually don't know how to say her name out loud. I've never said it out loud. She's from Selling Sunset, and she is one of the partners of Nick Cannon. And Ali Gonzalez, they are together in Sydney. This is a duo I love. Yes, I've noticed they've been posting together quite a lot lately. They must be good friends. I love them together as well. So fun for me when I see American celebrities mixing with Australian influencers. I absolutely love it. This person is saying just because someone has a small following doesn't mean their content isn't good. I definitely agree with that. I think that a lot of the time, smaller following creators actually have better content because they have to try a bit harder. And then when someone becomes big, their content sort of just becomes just their daily life. It's not like they're trying to create engaging content necessarily. This person is saying Peter is from Perth, so maybe he's selling the gym equipment, and if they broke up, he is moving back. Yes, that is what I am thinking. but watch this space. Can we talk about Spotify list of the top podcasts of the year too, with many influencers in the top 10? Yeah, I agree. I am just absolutely blown away that I was on people's Spotify Wrapped as one of the most top listened podcasts for them for the year. That was just so cool for me. I don't actually have Spotify, ironically, because I subscribe to YouTube, because I post on YouTube. I actually just listen to YouTube music because that is included in a YouTube subscription, and I'm not going to pay for both. But yeah, I don't listen to podcasts through YouTube, so I don't get a Spotify Wrapped, which is annoying. But Outspoken would definitely, Outspoken the podcast would definitely be my number one listened to podcast. I'd probably be a top listener of theirs, but alas, I will never be able to prove that. And my most listened to song was Jump by Blackpink. Fun fact. Well, this person's saying so many influencers got engaged in the last week. Yes, Rani Bransby got engaged to Jan, I think that's his name, Jian. Who else got engaged? I'm not really sure. That's the main one I can think of. Do you think the social media ban for children under 16 will affect influencers with a younger audience? Absolutely do think that, 100%. Especially if it is going to be TikTok deleting younger people's accounts. It's going to have a huge impact on younger influencers. Like most of the ones I talk about, their audience would be around 30, so I don't think it's going to affect them as much. But yeah, all those ones that have just come out of high school, like Sopha Dopha, for example, she's only 21. She probably has quite a few followers that are under 16. But yeah, we'll see, I suppose, won't we? Lucy Kate Jackson is saying, I heard you have tea ready for our live show. That is a sneaky little fun fact, isn't it? I am attending the Thursday night show as a paid ticket holder. As for the Friday night show, my lips are currently sealed. If anyone's going, message me. Do you have a strobing light going on behind the phone? Video is flashing. No, I just have a ring light in front of me and then ceiling lights, iPad light. Sorry about that. Okay, next question. Ashy and Tijana have released an online course that they are not qualified to do. Yes, so Ashy and Tijana, Ashy Bines and Tijana Bundalo, they are the co-hosts of She Rises, which is a podcast, and they have just announced a online course, and it is available worldwide. They're charging in US dollars, which is 33 US dollars and converts to 50 Australian dollars per month. I feel like when I last checked, there were 39 people that had signed up. So 39 times 50, that is $2,000 a month or something. I think that's what it worked out to be. And that is obviously not a sustainable business model for them. I imagine they're going to need a lot more people to sign up in order to make this worthwhile. But it's also a really hard sell to sell like a brand new product. Ashy Bines has a track record of not cancelling direct debits for people. So I think a lot of people would hesitate to sign up to a monthly direct debit through a business that Ashy Bines is running in case they want to cancel and then maybe they have trouble cancelling it. It does say cancel anytime. I noticed that was one of the points listed. So you would hope that that would be honoured. And then I think they're going to have a lot of professionals on there because this question is saying that they're not qualified to do it. They have shown that they have created a lot of videos themselves, which I'm guessing will be like podcast sort of content where they're going to talk about their own experiences or they're going to talk about what they've learned from professionals and things. And then it looks like they're going to have a guest speaker every month, which I imagine would be a qualified person. And I imagine they're going to have different little qualified people speaking about various topics and things. I don't know. I imagine if you really resonate with Ashy Bines and Tijana's content, I imagine this would be a really good extension of their podcast, and I can see a lot of potential in this platform. I personally won't be paying for it, or signing up, but I don't think that it will be a bad product, like a bad course to sign up to. And also the worst thing that can happen, as long as your direct debit is cancelled properly, the worst thing that can happen is that you are $50 out of pocket if you don't like it. I mean, $50 a month is a lot of money though. So I think that they're going to really have to provide a lot of content to keep people continuing to pay $50 a month. I know that the Rise app by Georgie Stevenson, I think that's only like $12 a month or something. So yeah, $50 is a lot of money for an online course. It also isn't an app, so you're going to have to go into like Safari and then go into the website. So I think that kind of makes it a little bit difficult as well. But yes, that is true that I don't think Ashy or Tijana. Oh, no, Tijana, I believe she might have some sort of like life coaching course. So what that encompasses, I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't believe there's qualifications for providing a lot of this content. That is correct. Next question. Bella Messina is doing very big hints about her ex-hubby now. The new girlfriend keeps being targeted. So yeah, in the last week, Bella Messina released a video that it was very obvious that like she'd implied it a lot over the past year. I think they've been broken up about a year, that he cheated. That is what she has been implying. I think that everybody sort of gathered that from what she's been saying. And the latest information that she's released is that she told us when she found out. And she said that her and her ex-husband had taken their 2 daughters to a theme park for the day, and they got in the car to drive home, and some message popped up on the Apple CarPlay. So it popped up on the car screen, and that is how she found out. She did mention in the comments though, because somebody said, is it Courtney, who is Adrian Messina's current girlfriend? To which Bella replied to that, no, it wasn't. So it's not even about Courtney, his current girlfriend. So yeah, I don't know why she would be getting a lot of hate. I guess people might have missed that comment. That's definitely possible. But yeah, that is the new information she's revealed about her divorce. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the Ashy Bines comments. Oh yeah, people are saying that Tijana's only 25. So to get life coaching advice from a 25-year-old seems quite ironic. Well, yeah, if you're only 20, I guess it's pretty good. Not that age is necessarily the be-all and end-all, but yeah, I can definitely see some irony in that. Okay, next question. Do you think that Laura Henshaw will be even more boring once her baby is born like Steph Claire Smith? I mean, it's sort of a backhanded question, isn't it? A twisted question in that I don't know if Laura, she's kind of boring. She's just sort of businessy, I suppose. I don't think boring's the right word. I think that she posts a lot, like especially lately, she's been posting a lot of like content where she's just raging about various popular topics at the time. She also posts a lot of business content, which I actually really like. And then she posts at like kick events and things. Do I think she's going to be boring once her baby is born? Well, yeah, I think that newborn content is quite boring unless you've got a newborn yourself. And then in that case, it's actually really interesting. It's really good to see people who have a child the same age as you and what they're doing and what they're not doing. But yeah, it does really segregate your audience. Like if they don't have babies, they probably don't want to be seeing baby content every day. And I find a lot of influencers, they really struggle with, they say, you know, I don't want to post too much baby content because I know that not everyone likes that, but that's their life and that's what their brand is, posting their life. But yeah, we'll see with that one. I think that she'll go back to work pretty quickly. She's definitely implied that. But yeah, we will see. Next question. Anna Paul has been hanging around with Harry Jowsey. What are your thoughts on this? I think that it's very on brand for both of them. I don't think Harry is afraid of scandals and controversy. They're both very they talk, like Harry Jowsey has a podcast where he talks about sex and stuff a lot. Anna Paul has her OnlyFans. So I don't know. I think that they're probably a really good fit for each other. Imagine if they ended up in a relationship together. I don't think they would actually. They're both too well known. I feel like it just wouldn't work out. All right, next question. Will news sites like the Daily Mail leave Abbie Chatfield alone? She made an emotional post today and pleaded with them to stop all the hate. Why does this happen to women who speak up? Thoughts? I don't think it happens to women that speak up, but I think that speaking up doesn't make a difference for the Daily Mail. It honestly just gives them another headline to write, doesn't it? The Daily Mail works on engagement. So their ad revenue is driven by engagement, and that is why they run the same articles over and over and over again. The amount of headlines I've seen about Jackie O, and every single headline has a comment about her weight. Like that is obviously a very highly engaging topic because they keep on writing that same headline and people must click on it and read it every single time. The amount of headlines they post about like scantily clad woman or bikini body and things. Like, it's obviously just clickbait. People must love stories about Abbie Chatfield. I'd say that that's why they keep on posting it. And yeah, they really probably should turn their comment section off, because the comment section on the Daily Mail is just a S show. It's not nice. It's never nice comments. Never. This person saying the trolling Abbie Chatfield gets is disgusting and includes neo-Nazis, which is horrible. Yeah, right. Oh, people are saying here about Laura having a baby that... What are they saying? People love baby content that's unique. I don't think they do. I think that people like relatable baby content. If it's too unique, they're like, oh, that's not me. I don't like that. I don't know. And this person's not a fan of influencers using babies for brand deals. Yeah. See, I think it's actually worse to use older kids, because babies are unrecognizable. Like, they all look the same to me. Anyway, that's probably offensive to some people, but I think babies all look the same. So it's not like you're going to recognize a baby if you see it down the street. Whereas when kids get older, if we're starting to see their faces every single day, that's when they are recognized in public. And yeah, I think that is dangerous, and also it's just not ideal. So yeah, I think that using babies for brand deals is okay, especially like prams and things. But yeah, I know it is very controversial, especially when Elle did her pregnancy announcement and that was an ad for Clear Blue. But I love that. I was like, that's awesome. Good on her. Oh, this person's asking, did Bella Messina's divorce get finalised? And that's why she's openly posting about the reasoning. Do you think she was holding back before for legal reasons? I don't think so, because Adrian posted this week, he won like 400 points at Time Zone. And as a joke, he posted a story saying, oh, I'll probably have to give Bella half of this in my divorce settlement as well. Actually, he didn't name her. And then people were like saying, this is really bad that you've posted this. And he's like, oh, shut up, it was a joke. But it really wasn't funny. It actually was quite mean. But I guess it's also harmless. It's just Time Zone points. But it was just like the point of the post. I don't know. So yeah, I don't think it is over. Or maybe that's why he started posting about it as well, because it's over. Don't know. But it is a long process, it seems. This person saying Daily Mail and news.com.au are an absolute joke, as are the people who follow and read their articles. Absolute gutter trash. The trolling Abbie gets is disgusting. Okay, so I've caught up on all the main questions. There weren't so many this week, but interestingly, let me get to my page. I'm going to go to my own page because nobody has asked me about Veruca Salt. So that has been huge news just yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, yesterday. She announced that she has broken up with her husband, who she married in October after knowing him for only 2 weeks. I think she's been with him for 2.5 months now, she said. So yeah, they've broken up, and she dropped 9 different stories today explaining why they've broken up. And I honestly just feel so bad for her. Like, obviously getting married after 2 weeks, most people seeing this like unfold thought that it was a red flag. Like, this did not seem like it was going to end well, and unfortunately it hasn't. But I'm sure most people have sympathy for Veruca. Like, this is a really sad situation for her. She is moving back to Australia. I'm sort of just repeating what I've posted publicly here. So yeah, she's going to leave the US and head back to Australia. I thought it was quite funny that in this whole announcement, she also mentioned the bedazzled clothing that she'd been doing. So he has a clothing brand, and she'd been bedazzling a few of the t-shirts where she puts like diamantes on the logos and things. And she'd been encouraging people to buy them. And she had said that for anyone who had purchased one, she would be personally offering them a refund. So I'm wondering if maybe they were purchasing them and he was just keeping the money and not sending them out, because she did mention also in her series of stories that, where are these stories, that she was basically funding him for the past 2.5 months. She's been paying for everything. He's now found some guy that's paying for everything. What else did she say? There's a whole heap of accusations in here about him cheating on her. He said some awful things to her about her son. And she's basically said that, yeah, she has just been really working on herself for quite a few years now, and that being with him has made her revert to past behaviors such as drugs and other things. Yeah, but it just really sounds like the whole 2.5 months has been really, really toxic for her, and it's just sad. But she is leaving the wedding photos up because she looks hot. That's what she said. And I love that, honestly. Like, she did look great. It looked like a really cool wedding in Vegas. But yes, they have split up. This person saying no one's asked because no one's surprised. True. And yes, she did delete all the stories. There were 9 of them, but obviously I was sent screenshots, posted them to subscribers as well. Vegas weddings aren't legally binding anyways. Well, I looked into that and they are. They're legally binding, and then you'd have to like convert it to an Australian legally binding thing. I don't know. It was messy. Oh yeah, she's also said that he was abusive since the night they got married. Oh, yuck. Honestly, I'm so mad at him. This person saying, remember when she lived in the share house? That was wild. Yes. Veruca, there's a lot of things that happened to her, isn't there? There's a lot of drama surrounding her. There were those twins. There was a bit of drama with them. And then there was that Peaches PRC. There was drama with her. There's always just a lot of falling outs of friends. This person is asking, do you think Sam Guggenheimer isn't as big anymore? And yeah, I don't think she is as big anymore. I think that she's also been posting a lot less. I just don't really, like, I mean, I do listen to her podcast still, but I noticed that the views, like on them, what's it called? Titan Trends or something, you can look at the podcast views, and I've noticed that her views are declining over time. But yeah, I do still listen to her podcast, and she has said that she's got a lot of mental health issues at the moment in terms of like her body. And she was saying there's been, I think, some like a lot of anxiety, potentially depression. So I think that she's pulling back from social media a bit. But yeah, I do think also because she's got her podcast, she doesn't really talk on camera as much. Like, she's not posting TikToks as much. And I just feel like I don't really hear about her or see her much anymore. Hopefully there'll be a bit of a comeback though. Like, she has come back to Australia, and maybe she's just working on herself for a little bit, and then maybe there'll be a big comeback. But I don't know. I was talking about her a lot, and now I feel like there's not really a lot to talk about. Speaking of Sam Guggenheimer, one of her ex-besties, Sopha Dopha. This is another thing no one submitted, and I thought people would. Sopha Dopha has been inducted into the 30 under 30 under the retail and e-commerce category. So as I mentioned earlier, she is only 21. She has her clothing brand All for Mimi. This was 4 days ago. Hang on. I think I spoke about it last week because I've got a pair of All for Mimi pajamas, and I wore them in honor of this. But that's weird. I've only posted it 4 days ago. Not sure. But anyway, they are on track to achieve over $10 million of revenue for the second year of operating. So she's just celebrated the brand's second birthday. So I imagine that's $10 million up until recently for a year of sales, which is absolutely crazy. And yeah, there's this account called J Wright Official, and they talk a lot about different influencer businesses, just businesses in general. And he was saying that, I don't know how he finds out this stuff, but he was saying 70% of her customers are located in Australia. And of the brand's top selling items, all of them are the viral boob job tank. I did buy one of the tanks, and the fabric is honestly so nice. It reminds me of like Skims, like that really soft, buttery, compressive sort of fabric, but really comfy as well. And I already have quite a large chest. So when I put it on, I was like, whoa, okay, this really is a boob job tank. It really pushes everything up. So it just wasn't for me because I already do have a large chest. I don't need help in that area. But yeah, it was very, very good quality. I can see why it has gone viral. And also he mentioned that the brand currently spends $0 on meta advertising. But interestingly, someone commented on my post that I did about it, my public post, and they were saying they believe the numbers are far too inflated. A $10 million per year revenue suggests that she's one of the most efficient businesses in existence with only 8 employees. So, I mean, this is just their personal opinion. The thing is, we don't know how much is outsourced. Like, if she might be doing outsourcing of third-party logistics warehousing where they pick and pack all the orders, and that is therefore not an employee because it is outsourced. So I don't know. I definitely believe it. I believe that Forbes wouldn't just publish this stuff without some sort of proof. But yeah, that is amazing. And as I said, she's just 21, so absolutely huge for her. And then the other thing I've posted publicly this week is Adele Petropolous. She has had a cheaters don't get cake party. So she was meant to get married last weekend to her partner Ant, I believe his name was, Antfa. And yeah, we found out that from this cake that he cheated on her. This is the first time we've got confirmation of this. When they first broke up, she said that she's not going to speak about it because, I don't know, I can't even remember her reason. But what happened was he went to Vegas for a bucks party or something, I think it was, or maybe it was for his own bucks party. And when he returned, he bought her a designer bag. And a few people were a bit alarmed by that. They were like, wow, that's a very extravagant gift for him going on his bucks party and then coming back and bringing that designer bag. I wonder if something's happened. So it was interesting. Alarm bells were ringing for people then. Then they went to Europe just recently and they went over there for someone else's wedding. And then she came online and said, you know, something really bad has happened. She's going to go offline for a bit and she'll return soon. And everybody's like, what's happened? What's happened? Nobody knew. Then she came online about a week later and said that she found out while she was in Europe that he's not the man that she thought he was, and they are now no longer getting married. And then she said that all of the things she's paid for so far, she's going to be doing it like giveaways for different people, and she doesn't want it all to go to waste. So that's what she's going to do with all the things that she's paid for her wedding. And yes, now we've found out that he has cheated. That really matches up with the Vegas stories that people were talking about. So people are thinking maybe that is confirmation of that. But then also there were stories coming out around when she announced the breakup. And if people watch my lives, they'll remember this. But Kayla Jade, she came out saying she was heading to Europe soon. And if your boyfriend's name is Anthony, she said, Anthony, please be careful because he's been messaging me saying that he'll show me around while I'm over there. And immediately everyone's like, hang on, this boyfriend Anthony and Adele's fiance is called Antfa and they've just broken up because of values not aligning. So yeah, that is another theory as to the whole cheating allegation. So do with that what you will. I guess we'll probably never find out what the full truth is there. All right, and I'll finish this up by reading the last of the ones on the screen. Is Pam at some NGV thing, or was that last week? No, that is this week. She has been messaging me today some behind-the-scenes stuff from the National Gallery of Victoria party, I think it is. It looks so fancy. It's got like Vivienne Westwood stuff. And yeah, everyone who's anyone goes to that. Oh, this person's saying Skims bras are very uncomfortable. Oh, no, very comfortable. Yeah. I've only ever heard really good things about Skims. Any Fidan updates? The only one I can think of is that she's recently hosted her annual Fidan birthday celebration where she treats herself by going designer shopping and basically spending a whole heap of money. And there's a lot of like speculation that she goes on these big shopping sprees, buys heaps of designer stuff, and then takes it back. And people are like, oh, you know, like she's lying. She actually doesn't even buy all that stuff. You know, she buys it and then we never see it in a video again. But that's actually kind of normal, I think. Isn't it kind of normal that sometimes people might buy a $5,000 bag and then they get home and they think, they like try it on with a few things and they're like, actually, I'm going to take it back. Maybe that's not normal. I don't know. I don't regularly buy $5,000 handbags, that's for sure. But yeah, that was sort of a bit of rumors that were going around about that one. And then other people were saying that the designer stores that are near her, like she lives in Sydney, I believe, the designer stores that are near her, they know that her birthday's coming up and they know that she's going to be coming in and they wait for her and they, like all the sales assistants want to be serving her knowing that she's there to spend money. And I don't know, it's just, that's all a bit of fun, those sort of rumors, I think. This person saying that it wasn't Antfa's bucks in Vegas. It was the bucks of the guy who got married in Europe. Okay, that makes sense. This person saying 30 under 30 isn't based on revenue. It's just people who have done well in their category based on a criteria, but it's not only revenue like it usually is with Forbes. Yeah, totally agree. 30 people under 30 it's just a list of 30 people. They have to be under the age of 30, but it's a list of people who have done well. It's not necessarily the top 30 in a category. It's just a list of 30 achieving great things. This person saying, surely nobody is refunding Fidan. She buys the most hideous items. Oh, I mean, fashion's just one of those things, isn't it? It's like art where everyone's got different opinions. But I think that designer stores would refund as long as the item hasn't been worn off, obviously. But yeah, don't know what the truth is there with that one either. All right, so I've been talking for nearly 40 minutes. I've answered all the questions, I think. So I'm going to end it here. If I didn't answer your question, make sure you DM me, or if you want to talk about anything, because I love talking about influencers anytime. Thanks so much for joining my live, and hopefully you've subscribed to my Instagram. I put a thing on my story today. It is $7.99 a month, and I post every single day to stories, and yeah, post all the best things in there, of course. So thank you, and I'll see you next week. Bye.